Okay, chapter 14 is installment buying and revolving charge accounts. I'm taking this information from some content that I put together in the handout that's available within your learning management system. Some things to keep in mind is whenever you're calculating for the amount financed, that's the amount that you owe for something. That's just whenever you subtract out any down payments that you make from the original price. That's called the amount financed. The total finance charge is the interest that you pay, which is equal to your amount financed less the total of all your monthly payments. Keep in mind that the total of all of your monthly payments does include both the principal and interest. So if you subtract out the principal, the amount that you financed it for, then the difference will be the interest. And then the deferred price, how much you really pay for an item, is the total of all your monthly payments, which is your principals plus your interest, plus any down payments that you make. So those three words will be used repeatedly throughout the chapter. The APR is the annual percentage rate. It's the Truth in Lending Act of 1969, which requires creditors to provide basic information about the actual cost of buying on credit. There's a couple of ways that this chapter calculates the APR. One of the ways is by a table, and the table that's in your chapter is based upon a $100 table. So first thing you need to do is to look up the table lookup number and find out what it's going to be. It's the finance charge, or the interest, divided by the amount financed times the table value of $100, and that will give you the table lookup number. All you do is you go to your APR table in your chapter, and then you go across, you look at the number of months that this item is being financed, and find that table lookup number to the closest number that you see on the chart. And once you find that closest number, you find the other column that's closest to it, go straight up, and then your APR would be, for example, between 3.75% and 4.0%. To calculate by monthly payment, it's equal to the total of all your monthly payments, which includes your amount financed plus your interest, divided by the total number of payments of the loan. That will equal your payment, monthly payment by formula. Another way to calculate your monthly payment is by table. This table is in your chapter, and it's based upon $1,000. You take the amount financed divided by $1,000, the table value, and that will equal a quotient. Then you'll find the corresponding factor, or the intersection of the provided rate and the number of months. For example, on this one, it was for 60 months, and it was at 10.50%, and the intersection is 21.49. And that will give you the then you'll multiply the quotient in step 1 by the table factor in step 2 to get your monthly payments. So that'd be 21.49 times the quotient that you received earlier. Okay, then the calculating revolving charges. This particular billing cycle is based on a 30-day billing cycle. And what you do is find the number of days between the 16th and the 19th, and that will equal 3 days. The number of days between the 19th and the 30th, and that's 11 days. The number of days between the 30th of September and the 3rd of October, which is 3 days. And the number between the 3rd and the 7th is 4 days. And then that number equals 21 days, and then there's 9 days remaining in the 30-day billing cycle, so that all of these numbers right here equal 30. Okay, then once you've done that, you've got the previous balance of $2,000, and on the 19th you have a payment. So you're going to subtract out $2,000. Well, first of all, 2,000, you have that balance for 3 days. So it's 2,000 times 3, and that will give you an extension total of $6,000. Okay, then next thing you do, your $2,000 balance minus your payment of $60 will give you $1,940. So you take $1,940 and you have that balance for 11 days. And that gives you an extension total of $21,340. Then you take your balance of $1,940 plus a charge of $1,500. That will give you $3,440. You have $3,440 for a balance of 3 days. That will give you an extension total of $10,320. Then you take your $3,440 and you subtract your payment of $60 to give you $3,380. $3,380 is now taken times the number of days that it had that charge of 4 days, and that gives you extension total of $13,520. We're right there. And then you take your $3,380 and you add your cash advance of $70 to give you $3,445, and you have that balance for the remaining of the 30-day billing cycle of 9 days. Gives you an extension total of $31,050, and you add all of those up, and your extension total is $82,230. You divide that by the number of days in your billing cycle, and this $2,741 is your average daily balance. So if you have an interest rate of 1.5%, you'll take $2,741 times 0.015 after you move the decimal point 2 places to the left. You'll add your finance charge to $3,450, and then you'll start over at the beginning of the next month with a new balance, whatever that new balance happens to be. And then all your payments and your charges, cash advances and whatnot, go through that particular process again. So this illustrates the way that a revolving charge account actually works. And you never want to pay a minimum balance of the recommended balance that they prefer for you to pay. Always try to pay as much of it as you possibly can. If you pay that minimum charge, you'll be paying on this particular charge account for a good long time. So make sure that you always make more, much more than the minimum monthly payment. Okay, this concludes chapter 14. We'll take a look at some of the activities at the end of the chapter in another podcast.